what elements should be in the new building and how did we work with the architects? Well, it began long before we selected an architect. For one thing, I've been living, eating, breathing new buildings for years, actually, because I was planning something before I even came here at another campus. So I had a very good sense of what constitutes a 21st century study building now. And we worked with a company to develop a functional plan so that we knew exactly what elements we wanted in the new building. When the architects came on, and it was obvious that they were extremely creative and also focused very much on the human elements, not on the bricks and mortar, which meant everything to me. Then we had discussions with them and they interpreted what we had asked for and put it in a very natural context. And I love that.
Good. Thank you.
So how would you spend your day in the building? Students will often, even now, even though you often read the library is dead, no one uses libraries anymore, it's just not true. Libraries as destinations are busier than ever. It's just that what's in the library is changing. So when you come to the Student Learning Centre at the beginning of your day, you can take the first 20 people through the door. They'll have 20 different reasons to come to that building, and that's what we want. And we want it to be flexible enough that we keep finding new reasons for people to come to the building. So you might come in the morning and you're not really awake. So you go to the cafe and you get your coffee and muffin, and there'll be a very nice cafe in there, and food and drink will certainly be part of the new building because it's part of the comfort that we're creating for students in there. You can sit in the bowl on the steps and think about how you want to plan your day, when you're going to meet your friends, when you're going to meet your team that you have to do a report with. And also keep your eye out for somebody that you need to talk to who might well be coming through that main door. You could then be going off to class for a while, coming back and planning for perhaps a tutorial that you've got, making notes for a presentation you're going to give, and realize that you could really use some help in the digital editing suite, so then you head over there. Then you might be heading over the bridge into the current library building to borrow some materials that you need or to get some reference help. And then maybe heading back with a sandwich for your lunch or something like that. Then maybe it's time for a little rest, so you go up to the beach area in the new building and sit there for a while. And then maybe you realize after your next class that you've got a deadline coming up, so you want to go to the silent study area, which is on one of the upper floors. And after your brain is tired from that, then you might want to go to the top floor where you can just sit on one of the single seats and look out over Yonge Street and Toronto and let your brain just relax and come up with really bright ideas and inspiration for what you're going to do the next day.
Cool. Go for it.
So you were asking me about the electronic resources and the library. The current library building was designed at a time when libraries were warehouses of books. The new building is designed at a time when study space and open space and collaborative space is just as important as resources. So what we've done is there won't be a bookshelf in the new building. The physical resources, the books, will remain in the current building, but our library has an enormous wealth of electronic resources which you'll be able to access through your laptop, your iPad, or whatever we're all using by the time the building opens. You'll be able to access that anywhere that you are in the new building. So the whole technology piece is extremely important in the new building. And the study rooms will also be equipped so that, just as we have on the 4th floor in this building, which is like an incubator for what we want to do in the new building, you'll be able to plug in to have a plasma screen so you can all work together on something that's on one laptop so you can all see what's going on. And so we're trying to adapt to the new technology as it comes along. So we're being deliberately vague about the technology because the building is 3 years away. So who knows where we're going to be in 3 years in terms of technology. We will be adding PCs, and we have our laptop loan program because we recognize that people have choice. We recognize that even though students may have a laptop at home, they don't want to heave it around all day when they come in. So they might well come to us to borrow a piece of equipment instead of bringing their own with them. So I hope everything will be on a tiny mini keys by then, and you just take your whole life with you on a mini key and plug it in some way as you go along. But who knows? We're deliberately being as flexible as we can be in this new space.
Cool. Thank you.
We have 2 services floors, other floors too, but 2 floors, 4 and 5, will be a concentration of services that we're bringing together in a collaboration with the Vice Provost Student Services, so that students don't have to run around the campus to get assistance. The students with accessibility needs will be able to go to the 4th floor, and all the various counsellors, etc., that they have in the services will be in one place for them. Also, there'll be a math assistance centre there where they can use tutors. There'll be some open space, but a lot of, on that floor particularly, there will be office space for the various service staff of student learning support will be at that level. And then on the floor above, that's where the kinds of services that we currently have in reference, information and so on in the current building, they'll be housed on the 4th floor over there. We'll have instruction labs for specific classes, instructing students on using particular resources, for example. Video conferencing so that we can do webinars, bring in webinars for people on specific topics. I'm really hoping that we can have a whole schedule every week of how to use this particular software, or learn how to use Adobe or whatever it might be. We'll be having those kinds of services on the 4th floor. And also there are some small areas there where a librarian can work directly with a small group of students on something that's perhaps more advanced as well.
Okay. Oh.
I could talk about this building non-stop because it's an incredibly creative project. And Ryerson is an incredibly creative university. And to me, the Student Learning Centre will be the focus. It'll be the hub for inspiration, interaction, introspection, and creativity. And I think that is a wonderful emblem and a central core of any university.
Fantastic.
The timeline for the building, there are always variables. But if all goes according to plan, we're currently waiting for rezoning permission because it's a complex project with being right on Yonge Street and having a retail component as well. So if that goes according to plan, we'll be breaking ground probably in January. 2 years of construction, and we're hoping that we will be opening the building with great pride in the winter of 2014.
Excellent.